Hi, Julie Torrens here. So what do I have here? I have a magazine sheet. And not that many videos ago, I'll even show you, I was doing some masterboard making. This was my palette. And I scooped up the leftover paint and I put it on a piece of magazine paper. Just like that, let it dry. Why did I do that? Well, I do this often because it is a great way to use up extra paint. But these were the colors for the journal that I'm working on. And so I used the same colors on here. This was my leftover paint. And I thought, I can make some ephemera with this. Now, what really got me thinking about it, and I'm just digging in my ephemera bowl, I had, just as I was cleaning up and neatening up, I had a piece like this that I had decorated up, and see, I cut them into circles with my punch, and I thought, hey, these really go with this. So when I was able to take my leftover paint and create another sheet, I thought, let's use this, let's decorate it up. So I've got out my Poscas. So this again, just taking leftover acrylic paint and putting it on a magazine sheet. I did pick a magazine sheet that had only a little bit of photograph. And maybe I'll use the photograph part, maybe I won't, I don't know. I like the text when the text is behind it. I'm going to turn it this way. I think you'll be able to see better. And let's start grabbing some markers. Okay, so I've on this side, I've got the orange and kind of a corally color. So I want to pick out markers that go with the theme. I like this green. I'm going to pick out this peach. Yellow. There is yellow in it. There isn't really a whole lot of green, but I added green and I like it. Pink, definitely. And this is kind of a lighter orange. I'm going to add that. And then I've got my two whites and a black. So what did I leave behind? Well, purple, but there is some purple in there. These I'm leaving behind. And a blue. So these are the Poscas that I've picked to go with. Now, I'm going to start with some purple. Give it a shake. These are acrylic markers. You can use any acrylic markers you have. I've got just a little scratch piece of paper and I'm just using that to press once to get the ink or the acrylic to the end. And I'm going to start out with just some simple flowers. Now, even if this acrylic hasn't completely dried, we're using acrylic with acrylic, so it's not like I'm using an alcohol marker or a Sharpie marker. And so acrylic with acrylic, it's fine. It doesn't hurt. And I'm going to go right down into this orange as well with this design. Talk about simple flowers. I mean, it's just loop, 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 loop. You can do this. Don't be afraid. You can absolutely do this. Will we use these in this particular journal? I don't know. I could, though. I know that. I'm going to put some sideways ones in occasionally. The Poscas handle better the drier this is. I'm not getting, like, sometimes I get where the tip kind of stalls. I don't have that with this. This is very random. I'm going to put a few sideways ones in here. All right. I'm going to let them dry for a little bit before I put centers in, but I'm going to go ahead with the green. And same thing, just press once. You don't take these and just pound, 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 pound. No. All you're doing is ruining the nibs, and you're not giving the acrylic a chance to get down to the nib anyway. And I'm just going to add very little leaves. Like, I mean, as in tiny. Here, there, here, there. And I'm just creating almost like a piece of fabric. You know what I mean? It's just an all over pattern. There's no focal point. But with the paint underneath and with the printing, the words that you can see through, I just think it looks great. Kind of like book page, which, you know, if you watch any of my videos, I like using book page and collage. It looks good. I'm going to just give this a turn. When you turn your work, you do get a totally different viewpoint, and you can easier see where maybe you left a space or where something's just a little out of balance. Okay. And now I'm going to go in with the white. Now, one of these whites is almost gone. I've been saying that for weeks, months. But every once in a while, I'll grab it and I can still get something out of it. But I really should just order another white, because you can get Poscas in sets. Watch on Amazon. I have found that on Amazon, and no, I don't have an affiliate link. I don't have enough subscribers yet. You need to have 1,000 subscribers. At least that's what I read the last time I looked. So please consider subscribing. It helps my channel so much. And I'm a nurse and I'd like to retire. But check Amazon for the Poscas. I know many people use other acrylic markers. They like them. The ones I've tried, I don't like. They're too transparent. The nibs are too scratchy. They just don't work for me. But Poscas work for me. But I have seen them half the price of other places, some from time to time on Amazon. So I just keep checking. And when you buy a set, you definitely pay less per marker. However, when I just need white, I'm not going to buy a whole set. Same with black. Okay, I am going to use this. This is a lighter orange. I don't know how well it's going to show up on here. I know it's going to show up here really good. I'm going to just make some X's. Well, I said really good. I wouldn't say really good anymore, but it's fine. It's a texture, that's for sure. But you can see how simple, and I like making my own ephemera very much. I just think it has a different vibe, a different, and do I use, yes. Do I use other ephemera? Yes. Like Tim Holtz and Diane Reevely, Dina Wakley. I can see this won't show up at all on here. I'm just going to change colors. I'm going to use the pink. Will it show up? Not sure. We're going to give it a try. Enough. It shows up enough, just like the subtleness of the orange on that pink. So we've just kind of gone opposite. And there's going to be a different look from when you're looking through a video and when you're holding it in your hand. So, you know, kind of keep that in mind when you're working on some of these things. All right. I like it, but I want more. I'm going to go back to white. And I'm just going to put a dot between the X's. And I think that's going to give it a cool pattern. This is that one that I said is almost gone. I grabbed it. And see, I'm still getting some white. Enough for this. I'm concentrating. I promise I won't hurt myself. I can barely see. Took me my eyes a minute to adjust to finding the pink X's. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? Do you think this is something you're going to try to do? I know you can do it. I hope you consider trying. All right, that looks great. Now, let's see. Let's start with the green this time. And I'm going to make circles. Oh, I didn't even charge this up. It's all right. And I'm going to make them in lines, not in polka dot style. Now, this is where your doodling skills, if you've watched my 5 minutes or less everyday journal, and I show you how you need to just practice, practice, practice. These are the kind of doodling exercises that will help your drawing. It will help you get the message that you have in your brain of how you want something to look, to translate down your arm to your hand so that you can draw successfully. It's not an overnight process. It takes practice. If you want to draw, you can draw. You just have to be willing to put in the practice. That is your main thing. All right, I like that. I'm going to grab the purple. And I'm going to go, I already charged this one up. And I'm just going to make a smaller circle inside. I'm liking it. I'm just making patterns. And this does not take a huge amount of skill. All right, I like that. Let's go with the yellow. We haven't done yellow yet. And I think what I'm going to do is just make lines. There's 5 lines. That didn't get 5. Good. It's not perfect, doesn't need to be. That only got 3. I'll put 1 more up there. Okay. Needs more though. I'm going to grab, this is kind of a peachy color. I don't know how well it's going to show up, but it's going to show up well enough. And I'm just going to put some dotty lines. It's subtle, but it will make a texture difference, I promise. I'll just do that much. And then I'm going to go this way. And then I think you'll be able to see the difference. Let's give it, ooh, now that, I gave it another charge and I got a blob of ink or acrylic paint. It's all right. When that happens, see, can you see I got that blob? All you do is just dip your tip in there and keep going. Okay, so can you tell the difference if I hold it up between these and these with the dots and without the dots? I think it makes a difference. I know it does. So I'm gonna finish it up. Ooh, I put my finger in a dot. I'm going to clean up those dots there, okay? Get some on this edge. Sorry, I went all quiet, didn't I? Sorry. Okay. Look, we got those 2 whole rows done. An orange row and a pink row. I love it. Let's work on this side. I'm going to just keep this same pen going. And let's see. Let's do... I'm thinking. Squares. I can tell you, oh, see, it blobbed again. I probably need to shake this more. I probably have too much binder and not enough, but that's okay. It's going to give me a variety, and I don't mind it. That's all right. And then use up the little puddle I made again, because it shouldn't just puddle out like that. So I have a feeling this just needs shaking. But I'm going to use up what we have. I really didn't utilize the edge here. That's me. I've got to remind myself, all the way to the edge, not everything in the middle. It's like a dip pen. You know, like a quill. Like I'm using the end of a feather. Got 2. Okay. I'm not shaking it now because I just want to use up what I've got going on here. Last one. Okay, now I'll give it a good shake. But some of those areas that came awfully heavy, they need to dry. So I'm just going to turn this around and I can work over here and hopefully not drag my arm through it. All right, let's see. Let's go back to this orange. This is still not the darkest orange that is in the kit. And I gave it a good shake. And we've got this guy in here. I think he'll be all right. I'm going to work around him, or I'm going to work on top of him. And let's see, what do we want? Let's do flowers again. And I'm making them a little bigger. I don't want them to look like they're in rows. One more. A little half flower. Put a few half flowers. Okay. Now I'm going to put the green leaves in again. And honestly, they're just ovals. But they make a difference. How's that look? All right, and I think the orange is enough. I'm going to go with white again for the centers. The yellow is very transparent, and I think it'll have a hard time showing up. The pink, I could try the pink, but again, I'm thinking it's just, did I shake it enough? I don't know if it'll show. I'll try it on one. Yeah, see, no. Needs white. Doesn't peg. Needs charging. There we go. That's the pink one. I just did it again. Ooh, there we go. White blob. It's okay. We're getting bright white centers now. Very good. We're not going to sweat that. It's not a disaster. It didn't ruin everything, I promise you. And when you're cutting these out into either heart shapes, flower shapes, square shape, you may not even see that whole thing. So don't worry about it. I think I got that all sopped up. All right. Looking for any flowers I missed. Oh, I think everyone's got a center. There's just one little petal here. I'll give it a... Okay. This, I can still see shininess. There's still wetness on there. So I'm going to leave that alone. Now I've got wetness over here. I think what I'm going to do is turn it around towards me. It's drier than it was. Maybe I'll work on this section. Let's see. Let's go with the purple again. Turning it around again. Sorry. All right. Let's think about, again, maybe some geometrics. I'm just going to make lines, but they're not going to be in order like boxes. This is going to be more just like doing sort of a cross hatch, but they're not overlapping. So there's diagonals, there's horizontal and vertical, all kinds of ways of lines. Okay, good. Do another one here. Okay, now I'm just going to keep the purple going, and I'm going to start with just some dots. And this fun. I find this very relaxing. I'm enjoying myself. I hope you are. And I know you can do this. Just leftover paint, put it on a magazine sheet, let it dry. And you could, once this is dry and you know it's good and dry, go ahead and grab your Copics or your Sharpies or your Bic alcohol markers. And they're fine. They work great. I like to use the Poscas. I really don't have very many colors when it comes to my Sharpies. I'm just giving some littler dots right around this edge. Okay. And see, I like that combo. All right. I like that combo, but I think it needs more color or more something. So I'm going to go ahead. I've got that white, the blobby white, and I'm just going to add random, not all the time, white lines, especially when I see gaps. That's what I'm doing. Just when I really see an obvious gap, I'm giving it some white. Now I'm just adding some to kind of balance it all off a bit. I like that. Good. Now on these dots, I'm going to go around them in white. Kind of reminds me of when I'm using Punchinella, which is also known as sequin waste. And it has a real specific pattern of circles on a ribbon, about 3-inch wide ribbon. And you get these rows and rows of circles. It's cool. I've used it on other videos. That's what this reminds me of. Or even bubble paper, bubble wrap, and you ink it up and you press it down on your paper, or you can put it on your gel plate. Great fun. Okay, I like that very much. All right, I think these are dry enough that I can work around them. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take this green and I'm going to give it a quick dot. All right, square and a square. And yes, it's subtle. I knew it would be, but I still think it's going to add something. I think that these types of patterns can be very boho. And I mean that. Boho has pattern. Sometimes you think more of paisley or florals, but pattern's all the same. All right, I like that. And now I'm going to take, yes, another color, but what color? Yellow. And I'm just going to put a dot where 4 connect, like here, 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 here. And I'm just creating pattern. All right. I like that. Okay, now I got to work kind of in between here. And I'm looking over my colors. What haven't I used? Really, I used the purple. I've used, I'm thinking on this side. I think I've used all the colors. Yep. All right. Well, I'm going with purple because it's way over here. And if there's a crossover, but it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I think I'm going to turn it this way. And do I want a geometric or what do I want? I'm thinking. I'm sorry. It takes me a minute to sometimes think. All right. Triangle. And now upside down or right side up. Whichever way you see it. And now this way again. Now points. Kind of has a Southwest vibe. I don't know why. Just kind of does to me. Okay. And something in between. Let's try the pink. I didn't put pink on this side. There you have it. And I'm going to put a circle. That shows up nice. I like that. Needs more. I'm going to grab the white. That's the one that's almost run out. But this one is blobby. So let's be careful, Julie, huh? Okay. I'm going to go in these and give them a punch with some white. And should I go in the triangles as well? I think so. I think I'm going to go with the triangle shape. Now this pen that I'm using, it may never blob again. What does it depend on? I don't know. The heat in the room, the day, the relative humidity. And I'm not saying those things to be random. All of those kinds of things can make a difference with any art supply. But I've had others go blobby, but then not again. So, and it is acrylic. So, all right, I feel like there's still more room. I'm grabbing the green. And I'm going to put in between the pink, like right here, I'm just going to put a dot. There. I'm going to go right here and bring the green out to the end. There. Yes, I like that. Okay, so look, we finished this up, and I can sit, and I'll do 3, 4 of these at a time. But here, let's get there's our strip. I think it goes. Let's put another strip out. See? I think it goes. All right. Thanks for hanging in there through the whole video. giving her a thumbs up. I appreciate it so much, and it helps other people get notified of my video. If you haven't subscribed, today is the day. Go ahead and subscribe, ring the bell, and that way you'll get notification every time I put out a new video. In the meantime, I will see you in another video.